With the arrival of customization, it's fair to say every single weapon is now useful to a degree, but I still think these three primary weapons are the top ranked for the Illuminate when truly wanting to make life just that little bit easier. What's up everyone, my name's SpeedyXP and welcome to the channel. The question we are answering today is why these three primaries still rank as the best for fighting the Illuminate even when there's so many customization options for the other weapons and so much more to choose from in comparison, which in reality these three don't really have much going for them customization wise. I tested pretty much all of the weapons against the Illuminate enemies and what I found was interesting. Let's start with the Scorcher. This weapon itself may not have the best ammo capacity when you look at other weapons, like maxed out ARs genuinely now have drum magazines, but with the Illuminate, it's more about the time to kill than how much ammo you can hold in a magazine. Sure, there's lots of small targets, but usually it's medium armored enemies that are the problem, and they swarm very fast. Like the elevated overseers, the flesh mobs, they are the bigger problems on the front line. So it's just the best option for when you need a weapon that does the job so easily. Just look at how fast the Scorcher takes down the elevated overseers, so it makes light work of them, it really does. The Scorcher can also take down these guys, yes, the flesh mobs, pretty damn fast, so instead of wasting loads of ammo using the lead pen or any other AR basically, it only takes 1 to 2 magazines, if that, to take one down with the Scorcher. You don't even need to aim for the weak points either really, because of the explosive damage radius of this weapon. So as long as you just shoot up and down, you destroy their heads pretty fast. And if you know, when it comes to the flesh mobs, even though they are light pen enemies, they can take a lot of ammo, and I mean a lot of ammo, if you don't target the weak spots. Sure, any light weapon can do the job if you do hit the weak points, but would you rather just have a primary that does it almost instantaneously? Let's take the Liberator penetrator for example in comparison. That takes some hefty work to take one down, even if you try and hit the weak points. This is also the same for any weapon that's light or medium armor penetrating. Sure, the harvesters don't get damaged by the Scorcher very well, but it's not a huge problem considering most people take support weapons or other stratagems to deal with them. So really the only negatives for the Scorcher is lack of ammo. Other than that, it's one of the best options for taking down all the enemies that cause the most issues in the game for the Illuminate. Now, the second weapon I deem as another top ranked primary alongside the Scorcher is the plasma shotgun. And honestly, this has become one of my favourite overall to use against the squids for so many reasons. It might just top my love for this Scorcher, it really might. This is the only shotgun I can truly say sends enemies literally flying. It's just the perfect shotgun. Ammo capacity is good, crowd control is perfect due to the explosive plasma, so yeah, no worries there. And the damage is just right where it needs to be so effective, to the point it kills medium enemies pretty damn fast. Even if you don't hit them directly, it still does an amazing job nonetheless. So when you have a horde of many enemies approaching you, doesn't matter if it's flesh mobs, elevated overseers, the plasma shotgun just is made for this. It really is. Flesh mobs are pretty good to take down. It's still not as fast as a Scorcher by any means, but it can do a really good job if you're close enough, and ammo is very efficient with the shotgun in comparison to the Scorcher, which I really like. You don't really have as many problems ammo wise compared to the Scorcher, but what I like about it the most is the all-around effectiveness against literally everything. Again, it's not great with harvesters. The only energy weapon that really is good against the harvesters would be the blitzer, but the positives for the shotgun outweighs the negatives, which there isn't really any. Other than harvesters not being damaged very well, you can stagger them, but that's really about it. If you compared this plasma shotgun to all the others though, nothing beats it, literally nothing beats it. Sure, the Hulk shotgun has stun rounds, which is handy to give you a bit of breathing room against loads of enemies, especially with flesh mobs and overseers, to then use the other rounds to take them down. But the ammo rinses pretty fast, crowd control isn't that great compared to the plasma shotgun either, and it just takes too long to take down medium enemies. Then you have the breaker. which in all fairness is pretty decent and did surprise me since I have not used this in quite some time. It's best for crowd control, and yes, obviously it's light armor penetrating. However, it can take down overseers pretty damn fast close range, and even flesh mobs. Obviously it's light armor penetrating, so I was pretty surprised that it could take down those overseers. As the weapon says, it's a spray and pray weapon, so if you do what it says on the tin, you won't have any problems. But again, in comparison to the plasma shotgun, it does not have as many positives. The break incendiary and cookout, obviously, I won't go over them too much, since anything incendiary is only going to be good for crowd control basically and dealing damage over time. However, it always comes back to the same issue: medium enemies. It just takes way too long, and you want a weapon that is as good close range as it is long range, and of course that's why the incendiary shotgun and the cookout just isn't the right option here. Therefore the plasma shotgun just ranks the top for all shotguns against the Illuminate. It also has good range, which is a bonus in my book, so it really does outperform all of the others. That being said, the third and final primary I see as one of the top 3 primaries is the double-edged sickle. This is quite self-explanatory, so I won't go over it too much. It's kind of a funny one because there are better ARs to an extent, but what makes this great is plain and simple the medium and heavy armor penetration it gains over time, as well as the time to kill. It always comes back to the time to kill. That is really important. Once you hit medium armor penetration, most enemies are quite easy to take down. Flesh mobs does take more time than the Scorcher and plasma shotgun. However, what makes this weapon so ideal is the ammo capacity. As long as you don't go too far, you technically have unlimited ammo. Just remember the fire resistant armor, that's what I seem to forget all the time. Otherwise, yeah, you just burn to death. This third weapon is personal preference really, but what I love the most is how fast it can take down harvesters. Compared to most weapons in Helldivers 2, this just makes light work of harvesters, especially if you hit heavy armor penetration. Because let's be real, in this game, facing the Illuminate, which they aren't easy foes, you want a primary that can just get the job done super fast. You know what, I might as well just be advertising these weapons on Super Earth at this point. They are just so goddamn good, and I don't really see many people using them. In my book, these top 3 primaries not only are ranked the best, but are very, very underrated. Especially when you are playing the Repel Illuminate missions. Holy moly, the Scorcher, plasma shotgun especially, just shreds. It literally shreds, keeping you alive, and you do get so many overseers and flesh mobs. So I would take these top 3 primaries any day of the week. If you all run one of these weapons, it's literally hell for them, it really is. Sure, there's some new toys to play with regarding attachments, drum magazines, new grips, but I would still rather a weapon that just laughs at the enemy, plain and simple. The most ironic thing is as well, these 3 weapons have the least amount of attachments you can apply to them, and they are plain and simple just the best against the Illuminate. Drop a comment below, what primary do you wield against the Illuminate? Give these a try for yourself. This was just a quick video on why I think these 3 weapons still holds its ground to this day for being the best primaries for the squids. Honestly, it's all really personal preference, but I think evidence plays a key role here in demonstrating what works best against them. If you're new around here, thanks for watching. I am grateful for your time, and I hope to see you again in another Helldivers video. May liberty guide your path.